Let me tell you something. One thing about them Jamaicans are into everything. I'm talking about everything. Listen, if there's a crack in it, a Jamaican has seeped through the crack. You know how water seeps through a crack? A Jamaican is going to get through it. If there's anything new, any new laws to stop people from doing anything, a Jamaican is going to get around it, over it, under it. Yo, this one is not funny, but it is funny. And when I saw the headlines that says an illegal immigrant was caught working as a police officer in Maine while attempting to buy a firearm, I thought to myself, the amount of checks that you have to go through to become a police officer and then buying a firearm, you've gone federal. They do a complete background check. And it was a Jamaican. Yo, let's get into the story. If you've never been here before, welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. For those who have been here before, if you've never been here before, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click the bell next to the subscribe button so you're notified every time a new video goes up on SouFLoTV. Federal immigration agents arrested a Jamaican national who managed to get himself hired as a cop, a police officer in Maine, despite being in the United States of America illegally. Now you're talking about somebody that is as brave as Shaka Zulu. Brave. This is the kind of bravery that the average man does not carry. First of all, if you're illegal in the United States of America, the first thing you're trying to do is duck law enforcement. You're trying to hide. You're trying to hope that them ICE agents don't catch you, arrest you, take you into confinement, and deport you. No, not a Jamaican. A Jamaican walks right into the police station. A Jamaican is asking for a job from the very people who have the capabilities to arrest him and deport him from this country. I'm trying to get y'all to understand the level of audacity that Jamaicans walk around with. They are built different. You heard me. So he managed to get himself hired as a cop. I can't imagine him waking up and saying to himself, you know, sir, I'm going to become a police officer in another city. Let me see how I can get this job now. And he actually goes through with it. Damn. Despite being in the country illegally, Immigrations and Customs Enforcement announced this on Monday. Jamaican immigrant, his name is Jon Luke Evans. Jon Luke Evans. Mr. Evans was employed as a reserve police officer with the Old Orchard Beach Police Department. He illegally attempted to buy a gun. Of course, he illegally attempted to buy the gun because he is illegally in the country. He has no papers to even be here. His status is not valid. So you can't buy a gun without a proper status. And because of that, that is what triggered a check on what was happening with his status. Had he not gone to buy that gun, he would still be a police officer to this day, walking around, driving around, patrolling the town, arresting people, writing up case notes, doing police stuff. He was arrested in Bedford on Friday, according to ICE agents. ICE said that Evans was also issued a gun by the police department already. So he had a service weapon. And if y'all thinking that I'm talking about like a volunteer cop that doesn't carry a gun but rides along with the regular police, no, he was a full-blown police officer, graduated from police training, everything, hired for the department, issued his weapon and his badge. He had the full thing going. The only reason this man said he wanted his own personal gun to take home for him because he had to leave his service weapon at the station. Or maybe he could use his personal weapon on the job sometimes. Typical Jamaican. He's about to make up his own set of rules. Cause man a bad man and we not live by other people's rules. Seen? So I said that Evans was also issued a gun by the police department along with his job. In fact, the fact that the police department would hire an illegal alien and unlawfully issue him a firearm while on duty would be comical if it wasn't truth and tragic. ICE Enforcement and Removal Operation Boston Acting Field Officer Director Patricia H. Hyde actually said. That was her comments. She can't believe that he got that far. She can't believe he was in the police department, the last place you would find an illegal immigrant. We have a police department that was knowingly breaking the law, the very laws that they are charged with enforcing in order to employ an illegal alien. ICE Boston will continue to prioritize public safety by arresting and removing criminal aliens threats from our New England communities, said Hyde. Now, while Evans entered the U.S. legally by flying into Miami International Airport on September 24th of 2023, gotta understand, he didn't cross the border. He didn't sneak into the country. He came into this country the legal way. Here's the problem. He was issued a 1-month stay. So he came into the United States of America through Miami International Airport on September 24th of 2023. He was supposed to leave October of 2023, a month after he came. He overstayed his visa by nearly 2 years, is what ICE found out. The day came when he was supposed to go to the airport, get his behind on that plane, and get up out of the United States of America, and he just simply did not go. He said, you know what? I'm heading up to Maine, or you know what? I am absolutely sure that he did his research and he found a loop in the law, a loop in a particular place that does things differently. So Evans joined the police force in May as a seasonal officer. Old Orchard Beach Police Department told Fox News. So as part of his hiring process, the Jamaican underwent a complete background check, a physical, and a medical screening. And then he got put into law enforcement training, and he passed all of that too. And his background check came back clear. The department also sent his employment documents, get this, to the Department of Homeland Security to confirm his eligibility to work in the United States of America. Department of Homeland Security said that Evans had an eligible work permit that would expire in March of 2030. And this is according to the police department. So the police department is blaming Homeland Security. Homeland Security is blaming the police department. The Jamaican is over here being a whole police in a country where he is not even supposed to be. Yo, they said that, and this is where the mistake was made, because the Department of Homeland Security sent back to the police department says he's good until 2030. Our department and our community relied on the Department of Homeland Security E-Verify program to ensure that we were meeting our obligations, said the police chief, Elise Chard. We are distressed and we are deeply concerned about this apparent error on the part of the federal government. You know, the people of this area are probably pissed to the high heavens, because up there where he is at in Maine, he's like the only fly in the buttermilk. Yeah, I've seen a lot of pictures of him on duty. He's just grinning like he's living his best life. He's grinning like he's living his best life, like he's the happiest person in the world. And he is the tallest, the biggest, the strongest looking one out of the whole police department. Every last one of them are Caucasian except for him. So they're like, he's like their token black. I don't know. He's just happy as hell to be there. So his role as a reserve officer actually prevented him from taking department issued firearms home or from carrying his own weapons on the job as well, because that's what comes with being a reserve officer. You can't take the weapon home as yet. Now, Evans' arrest wasn't the first case of ICE hunting down an illegal immigrant who was employed as a police officer in Maine, which is one of roughly a dozen states that actually do allow immigrants who have work permits to serve as police officers. This is why I said, if there's a crack in it, a Jamaican is going to seep through it. See, this brother did his job. He did his due diligence research to find out that there are about a dozen states in the United States of America where you can actually become a police officer as a immigrant who is on a work permit in the United States of America. How he got his paperwork to say he's good till 2030 though, from the Department of Homeland Security verification, I don't know. But the police department said that that's what they got back, so they figured he was good. So they put him through training, and when he completed his training, they hired him. Just in April, ICE actually arrested a Congolese immigrant named Chrétien Melando Wamba, who was 32 years old, who had been actually working as a correctional officer at the Cumberland County Jail. The feds were similarly alerted to his whereabouts after he did the same thing the Jamaican did, tried to purchase a firearm. Let me tell you something, right? There are going to be more of them. They're just not going to be purchasing or trying to purchase any firearms after this, because it seems that the firearm purchase is what triggers them to get caught. I find this story funny. And if you think the story is fake, it's not. I goes over to CBS News, it's on ABC News, it's on Fox News, it's on MSNBC, it's in the Jamaican news as they report on one of their own who's been missing in action for a couple of years. He's over here in the U.S. living his best life as a stand-up, law-abiding, tax-paying citizen, only he's illegal. ICE says that the detained Jamaican who was working as a Maine police officer simply overstayed his visa and has been in the country illegally for 2 years. The chief of the police department said, "Don't blame me. I cleared federal checks. I did what I was supposed to do." Here's another take on it. So the chief of police in a Maine resort town has called for an investigation into the arrest by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement of one of his officers, who the chief said was federally approved to work in this country in May. The chief himself, even after the Jamaican has been arrested, Jon Luke Evans, the chief of the police department where he worked, still thinks something is wrong. Like, y'all came and arrested my officer. I don't think he is illegal. I think there's a I think there's a mix-up in the paperwork, because we have documents from you, Department of Homeland Security, that says he is good until 2030. ICE arrested the Old Orchard Beach Police Department Reserve Officer Jon Luke Evans, a Jamaican, on July 25th. That's a couple of days ago. The agency said that Evans was illegally present in the U.S. and he was unlawfully attempting to purchase a firearm, a personal firearm for his own personal use. ICE said on Monday that the statement that ICE said on Monday that in a statement that Evans had legally entered the U.S. Like we said before, he didn't cross any borders illegally, but he violated the terms of his admission by overstaying his visa. He just simply left Miami, went up to Maine, and got himself employed as a police officer. He cleared every check that he was supposed to, or he would be required to clear in order to work as a police officer in the United States of America. And if you know anything about becoming a police officer, they don't just pick anybody up and make you a police officer in 24 hours. You have to go through some extensive background checks, especially if you're anything like an immigrant. So the Old Orchard Beach Police Department and ICE officials have not responded to ABC News requests for a status update on Evans' case. Nobody is saying what's going to happen next in his case, because you have the police department who's saying we have paperwork that says he's good, and then you have the immigration people who are saying he's not good. But how did you get that paperwork? Because we didn't make that mistake. But they did make that mistake, because the police chief has the paperwork that is their official paperwork. So they did make the mistake. So ICE and CHARD, it's unclear on Tuesday if the Jamaican even has a police officer, not a police officer. It's unclear if he even has an attorney to represent him yet. ICE and CHARD presented different accounts of Evans' employment by the town. CHARD said that the department was notified by federal officials that Evans was legally permitted to work in the country and his authorization documents would not expire until 2030. CHARD, of course, is the chief. CHARD said the town submitted information via the Department of Homeland Security's E-Verify program. They set up an E-Verify program. The E-Verify program that they use has been online, and it was launched since the 1990s. And that program actually allows employers to check if potential employees can work legally in the United States of America. Some large private employers use it, but most do not. A lot of federal employers do use it. Government agencies do use it because it is supposed to be monitored directly by immigration. She said that the department is distressed and they're deeply concerned about such a big mistake that was made, and the fact that everybody is acting like they did nothing wrong, it's the other person. She said that the department would also conduct an internal review of the circumstances surrounding this case. The Old Orchard Beach Police Department was never officially informed about Evans' detention, and the department officially learned the details of the matter in a news release that was issued by Immigrations and Customs Enforcement. So they were wondering, where the hell is our one black police officer that where the hell was our one black police officer that we have around here? He hasn't been showing up to work. Where did he go? And they couldn't find him. And then, this was released to the public by ICE. ICE puts out its own notifications, its own news, and that's where they saw it. and they're like, oh, damn, our Jamaican officer is in custody with ICE. They picked him up. ICE said in a statement that Evans admitted to the officers that he attempted to purchase the firearm for his employment as a police officer with the town. They already gave you a gun to use on the job, dummy. Why you gonna purchase a gun to use on the job? This is what triggered an alert to the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, which coordinated with ICE once the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, once they found out that, hey, this guy is illegal, they immediately contacted ICE. And then ICE, of course, got the red flag that there is an illegal immigrant who is trying to purchase a firearm. So they went and picked him up. And that's how he got arrested. Evans was actually scheduled to depart the United States of America in October of 2023. We are in July going into August of 2025. He just simply never boarded his plane to leave, the report says. We have a police officer that was knowingly breaking the law, the very law that they are charged with enforcing in order to employ an illegal alien, a police department rather. Old Orchard Beach is a popular summer vacation destination in Maine. It has a beautiful, beloved boardwalk, beach, and downtown amusement park. It is highly seasonal, the community is, and it's most active in the summertime when it swells with visitors, and it requires a larger police presence than in the slower, colder months. There are a lot of Jamaicans and a lot of other people who come there on work permits to serve in the resorts, cooks, service people, do laundry, clean up the place, whatever the job may be. And then when the season is out, they're gone back to their country. Maine is one of, like I said before, a dozen states in the United States of America that allows for I didn't even know they had this, where they would allow non-citizens to actually serve as police officers. Or worse than that, I didn't even know that they had the possibility where someone who has a work permit, a visiting person with a work permit, it's like you're here on a farm work or you're here as a student worker. My mom owned a restaurant here in the United States of America for many years. She had it for 20 years. And Jamaican students from the University of the West Indies would fly into Florida, and my mom would hire them at her restaurant, and they would work for the summer, a couple of months, and then they would collect their money and they would do their shoppings and stuff, and then they would go back to Jamaica. I did not know that you could be on that kind of a paperwork and actually be employed as a police officer in about 12 states in the United States of America. That's crazy. They're actually part-time seasonal employees who are assigned to a variety of tasks, including community policing, beach patrol by foot or by bicycle. Again, this Jamaican passed every test. He passed the physical test. He passed the medical background test. He passed the background federal check test. He also underwent the standard training for police officers before he was employed, or as they say it, deployed on duty. Yo, you know what? If anything, I always want to be a Jamaican. Yeah, I'm lucky to be born a Jamaican. I'm not saying that illegal immigration is okay. I'm just saying that the things that we get into, it's mind-boggling. Who else is that brave to be illegal in a country, but to be so confident and so convincing? This for my Jamaican audience right here. You know the Jamaican them that will thief your things and then help you look for it? Me put it down right here, so. And they're like, well, me never see it, but me I gonna help you look for it, you know. And they're moving stuff around. They're moving furnitures with you, helping you to find your stuff that they stole from you. And it's in their pockets while they're helping you to look for to look for it. You must think so easy. Listen, man. Leave your comments in the comment section below. I'll catch you on the next video. It's SouFLoTV. I'm out. Peace.